It opened my eyes up from what I was living, and I'd probably still be there today if it wasn't for my daughter. Because it got to a point where she wasn't even coming home anymore and did not want to live in our home. And as a mother, my heart was breaking. I didn't have, these children to be living a life like this, to not want to come home to their home. I think that even though they were here for me in the shelter and I know they cared about me, but they made me stop, they made me think things out, they talked to me. I had to be logical, I had to use my own head. I just didn't see a whole picture. I didn't really know all that was happening. What I learned through Jen was that I was being abused every way, which I didn't know. So when I took those classes from her about abuse and learned that he was abusing me in every way that I could be abused, I got a clearer view and know now what it was that I was living. But the most important thing is he was abusing those children. And if he was abusing me and nobody knew about it, that'd be one thing. But the fact of why should those children be being abused? They were not brought into this world to be living like that. And if I stayed there with him, then my kids are going to grow up and either marry someone who's going to abuse them or they're going to become abusers themselves. And that's not the way of life. I have found community to be very, very important. My rabbi from my temple is the one who sent us to the Jewish Family Services. The rabbi, the temple, I've had the Jewish Family Services, I've had the Hebrew shelter, I've had very close friends. I've had even the school system where I've had the guidance counselors, the principals, and people I don't even know in our community who have heard about what has been going on with us, that have even given gift cards and have sent them home, gave them to the office and snuck them in my son's book bag. There has been so many hearts that have opened up to me and the kids. The goal is right now for me to accomplish being able to get a place on my own back where me and the kids lived. The kids are good. They're having a hard time from what they were living. It's almost like all the good that I taught them in life has to be retaught because all the negative things that were around them on a daily basis kind of overtook the good. They're still in counseling. They could be in counseling for a long time, just like me. Good days, bad days. That I have a hard time sometimes being strong and knowing how to be strong and knowing how to be the leader of the family because somebody was always controlling the family and I wasn't, and so it's hard. I couldn't be where I'm at today without everybody, especially the Jewish Family Services and the Hebrew shelter, because they have been my financial stability for a home and food and gas and money. We wouldn't be where we are. We would be back in that abusive life. Because it's very easy to want to think to go back. When you're having really hard days and things are hard and you're sitting there crying, and I have those days where I think about, especially financially, to want to go back. But I won't do it. My one daughter, her father asked her one day if she was happy living the way we're living now, being part of the shelter. And she looked directly at her father and she said, yes, my life is so much better and I'd rather be living where I'm living than to have you treat me the way you did every day.